It was without a doubt that was the turning point in my life, understanding that an illness can totally surprise you. But it became really clearly evident that prostate cancer survivorship was more than just prostate cancer survivorship. It was about men's health. Our event, will house anywhere from 2,000 to 6,000 attendees. We take over the entire arena. That men's health event that we put on in 2020 was the only one that was taking place in the entire United States that year. Over 50% of our attendees have been to more than one event now, and over 10% of our attendees use it as their annual physical exam. If you don't know basic facts about your health, then you're missing out on the key parts of survivorship. If a man becomes ill or dies, the likelihood of the children of that family being successful goes to almost zero.
You want to learn secrets to improving men's health? You are in the right place. Hello and welcome to Premier Insights Podcast. My name is Raphael Levon Price, and this podcast is customized for anyone interested in supporting men's health or pursuing a career in urology. We are blessed to spotlight a luminary among Michigan's most accomplished urologists, founder and executive director of the Michigan Men's Health Foundation, Dr. Michael Lutz. Dr. Lutz is a partner in the Michigan Institute of Urology. Dr. Lutz has practiced in Metro Detroit since 1986. He is a board-certified physician in the specialty of urology by the American Board of Urology. Dr. Lutz is experienced in all areas of adult urology and has special interest in urological oncology, male fertility, and urologic stone disease. Dr. Lutz attended the University of Michigan until 1977. He received his Doctor of Medicine degree from the Chicago Medical School in 1981. Dr. Lutz completed his urology residency at Henry Ford Hospital in Detroit, Michigan. He was chief of the Department of Urology of the Northwest region of the Detroit Medical Center and an elected member of the Medical Executive Committee of the Detroit Medical Center. Dr. Lutz served as a co-chairman of the Prostate-Cancer Task Force for the American Cancer Society in the Great Lakes region, and as well has served on its regional board. He was a founding member of one of the first Us Too prostate cancer support group chapters in the state of Michigan and continues to remain active in regional advocacy groups involved in the prevention, diagnosis, and management of prostate cancer. In 2010, Dr. Lutz was elected to the National 8-Person Committee of the Prostate Conditions Education Council and was asked to chair and direct the PACE races throughout the United States. The PCEC remains the longest standing and largest prostate cancer advocacy organization for screening and early detection of prostate cancer. Since its inception in 1989, over 5 million men in the United States have been screened through its National Prostate Cancer Awareness Week programs. Now, on January 8th, 2016, Dr. Michael Lutz, president of the MIU Men's Health Foundation, presented at the White House at the request of Roderick Johnson, the White House Cabinet Secretary, Vice Admiral Vivek Murthy, MD and MBA, United States Surgeon General, and Michael Botticelli, Director, White House Office on National Drug Control Policy. This summit was coordinated by the Office of Intergovernmental and External Affairs in partnership with the Men's Health Network. His discussion focused on men's health, community outreach, and partnership opportunities, and its role in evaluating and improving healthcare opportunities to the underserved population. The event was live streamed from the White House, and our viewers will find the link of the event and Dr. Lutz's presentation in the description below this video. Dr. Lutz continues as Assistant Clinical Professor of Urology at Wayne State University. In 2010, he was asked to join the faculty at the Oakland University William Beaumont School of Medicine as Assistant Professor of Urology. Dr. Lutz is a member of the American Urological Association, the American Fertility Society, Fellow in the American College of Surgeons, American Medical Association, Michigan State Medical Society, Michigan Urological Association, and Wayne County Medical Society. Dr. Lutz's hobbies include cycling and running. He is now retired and a former employee of the Michigan Institute of Urology. Now, with such an outstanding resume, Dr. Lutz, in my opinion, you should be in the Healthcare Hall of Fame. Welcome to Premier Insights Podcast, Dr. Lutz.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome, and we are so glad that you could join us. Today's theme is men's health. And before we dive in, I'd like to set the stage with where you came from, because often what draws someone into the medicine field tells a lot about who they become in practice.
Well, you know, I did do my undergrad at Michigan, and I knew I was going to go into to become a physician. That was my ultimate goal. And so after I had finished about 2 years at Michigan, I decided to not graduate from the University of Michigan and see if I could get into medical school early, and I did. So after 3 years of college, I ended up going to the Chicago Medical School. Never graduated college, and my kids still hold that against me or hold that above me. But since then, I went to Chicago Medical School. It was a great experience, and living in Chicago for 4 years was a lot of fun. Not fun if you're broke, but it's still fun to be there anyway. But it was a great education. The school is a great school. But I will say this, is that during my first year of medical school, I came down with a significant kidney disease. And it caused me to get hospitalized and leave school for over a month. And I had to self-educate during that period of time until I recovered well enough to go back to school. It was without a doubt that was the turning point in my life, understanding that an illness can take you by storm, can totally surprise you, catch you out of left field, and when it does hit, your only thought at that point in time is, how do you survive it? So the thought was at that point that I was going to end up on dialysis, but I did not. My kidneys did recover, and I ended up going back to school, and I decided that I was never going to let myself get that sick again. So I bought a pair of running shoes, and I decided to start running. And first I ran around the block, and that was a lot of work. But after my number of years in school and getting back and catching up in school, everything started to just turn really good again. And my kidney function recovered significantly, well enough that I could start running harder. And I got up to about 4 miles before I ended up graduating from medical school. And then after medical school, I came back here and started my residency at the Henry Ford Health System.
Wow, that is a phenomenal story. I never knew that. So obviously you learned how to endure on two fronts, not just as a student in medical school, but you learn how to endure, learning how to run and to develop your physical stamina. So that is quite phenomenal. And it makes perfect sense why that would motivate you to be very passionate to developing men's health and being an advocate for men's health, which we'll get into a little bit later in our discussion. So my next question would be, was there a moment or experience early in your career that crystallized your commitment to men's health in particular?
Well, I would have to say that getting sick in my first year of medical school was one of the triggers. But later on in my career, when I became a prostate cancer advocate, understanding that there was really nothing in existence early on in my career. Nothing existed for patients, nothing existed for their families, and nothing existed for any type of support network whatsoever for individuals diagnosed with prostate cancer. But it became really clearly evident that prostate cancer survivorship was more than just prostate cancer survivorship. It was about men's health.
Okay.
And it was also evident at the same time that gynecologists were pulling back from their female patients and were losing that advocacy role of their female patients as the women's health advocate. And I thought, as a urologist, we needed to step up and do more.
Yes.
And that there was so much more that we could do. And it didn't take leaps, it just took baby steps.
Okay.
It took conversations of diet and lifestyle and behavior patterns and understanding on how they all played into prostate cancer survivorship. And so that became a mainstay of my practice. And so in 2008, when we merged with the Michigan Institute of Urology, the decision was to develop a foundation for prostate cancer survivors. And the decision was not just to do it for prostate cancer survivorship, but to do it in totality for men's health survivorship.
Wow, this is very, very insightful and really, really important and critical in the area of healthcare. And I know that you founded this Michigan Men's Health Foundation in 2008.
Correct.
2008. And you've long been active in community engagement. In 2022, you earned the Governor's Service Award for your efforts in creating the Men's Health event, which is now in its 16th year. And so how significant was that award to you? And what has been your guiding philosophy in that work?
I think all of the awards that I have received personally as a result of my commitment to men's health advocacy, each one signifies the importance of our foundation more so than my role directly. Our foundation has developed over the years numbers of activities and outreach services that have become replicated nationally. We have developed patents and trademarks on our events that have been copied nationally. So I always say that copying something is the best form of honoring somebody. And so I feel really good that our foundation has really developed a national recognition and reputation for providing the best services and opportunities for men, not only in our community, but in all the underserved communities as we now expand across the state of Michigan.
Wow, yes. So where can men sign up if they would like to attend your annual Men's Health Fair at Ford Field?
So our website is the best place to find out of all of our activities, of what's going on. And we're constantly updating our website. Many of our events are very predictable, such as our Blue Monday Men's Health campaign, our Cogs and Kegs bike ride, and our Run for the Ribbon at the Detroit Zoo for prostate cancer survivorship. Those are always on International Men's Health Week, which is that week leading up to Father's Day every year. And we've held it literally every year except during the year of COVID in 2020.
Did you want to talk a little bit about that?
I will,
Maybe.
yeah.
Okay.
Our men's health event is a little bit more precarious because we hold it at Ford Field. And as a result, we are dependent upon the Lions schedule. So we will submit several week opportunities, usually in near the end of September. And whichever weekend the Lions are away is when we can have Ford Field. The reason they have to be away is because we take over the entire arena.
Wow.
Our event, will house anywhere from 2,000 to 6,000 attendees.
Wow.
And we screen over 1,200 men, 1,400 men, somewhere in that range each year. And so since our first event, which was in 2011, which was held at the Troy Marriott, we've held our event every year at Ford Field. It's from 2012 on, except in 2020. In 2020, almost all of us will remember that year vividly because it was the COVID pandemic.
Yes.
And we knew more so than ever that that event had to take place because so many men were displaced, so many men were not getting healthcare opportunities. There were 25% fewer prostate cancers diagnosed that year nationally as a result of the pandemic. And we know that those cancers did not just go away magically. So our concern was that that event had to take place. So the person who ran the health department from the city of Detroit called me up. And when Denise called me up, she said, what were your thoughts about your men's health event? And I said, I figure we'll get a special dispensation from the governor. And she started to laugh and said that that'll never happen. You'll be able to hold 50 to 75 people at Ford Field and that's it. Well, we have 300 volunteers at this event. So we knew it was never going to happen. But what happened is she and Hakeem Berry with the city of Detroit decided to come together and offer us the Michigan State Fairgrounds as a drive-through men's health event that year. And we would be the last event to ever take place at the Michigan State Fairgrounds. And we did it as a drive-through event. And on that day, in partnership with Wayne Health and the city of Detroit, we screened 650 men that day. We gave out 350 flu vaccinations, and we gave food securities to every single attendee in partnership with Gleaner's Food Bank. And the most important statistic of that day is that that men's health event that we put on in 2020 was the only one that was taking place in the entire United States that year.
Wow, that is quite an accomplishment and very, very impressive. You should be very proud of that.
It was great partnerships, and it was just such a commitment from the organizations that I mentioned that we could actually pull off such an event with full PPE.
Yes.
I mean, when there was no vaccine available, everyone was risking their own personal health to make sure that the men of our community were taken care of. And that was just a mind-blowing experience.
And I want to ask you, what made Ford Field the preferred venue of all the places that you could host something like this?
Well, part of it was the fact that we knew that we needed to have a place that would attract men, that would get guys engaged. We could use all of the, analogies of getting off the sidelines and getting on the field and all of these things. But the bottom line is that Ford Field really provided a great backdrop for men to get screened and getting screening opportunities. And every year it became more or less an annual physical exam. Over 50% of our attendees have been to more than one event now, and over 10% of our attendees use it as their annual physical exam.
Okay.
So our event has now really become an integral part of the city of Detroit and the community. I don't think it even matters where we hold it now. I think now we're at a point
well established.
The event just needs to take place.
Right.
And so what we do is we try to spend our money on services and increasing the opportunities for the men who attend it.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And are you seeking any collaboration with some of these professional sports teams like the Detroit Lions or other local teams? And how could such partnerships benefit men throughout the region, as well as the men on those teams?
Absolutely. Having a partner with a sporting team, whether it be Major League Baseball or the NBA, would be really helpful. And so this year, the Detroit Pistons have decided to really step up and partner with us.
Wonderful.
And it is even possible that we'll move our event to another facility to enhance that partnership with the Detroit Pistons.
Sure.
I think it's really important to have a sporting team as a partner. And that's why we're working as well with an organization called Man Cave Health, who has strong partnerships with college sports as well as professional sports.
Wonderful. Now let's kind of pivot a little bit with the topics here. And I want to ask you, how do you see the role of a urologist evolving into a broader men's health advocate rather than just focusing on the organs or the disease?
I think many urologists, as they go through their education, realizes that doing just surgery on specific areas of the urinary tract that are specific for urologists, there's more to it. There's more to that process of doing the surgical care of patients. And oftentimes they do want more. As a physician, they want to be fulfilled as well in their care of the patient. And there's no question that when you start addressing the entirety of the care of the patient, men's health really becomes an integral part
Sure.
of what you perform and the duties that you can accomplish. And I think that as urologists start to get older in their practice and they want to do more office-based care versus surgical-based care, men's health is a really wonderful aspect of your practice that you can expand upon and provide a very valuable service to your patients.
Okay, wonderful. Now, what are 3 important things men should do immediately to take charge of their health?
The first thing, knowledge is power. And I say that without any uncertain terms. If you don't know basic facts about your health, such as your blood pressure, such as your heart rate, such as your weight, and what it should be, then you're missing out on the key parts of survivorship. So knowledge is absolute power. The next step is understanding what laboratory studies are essential to know at your specific age. And if you don't, there's so many resources available to tell you what labs and what studies and what tests should be done at a very specific age.
Yes.
And to not take advantage of that and to not get that done is really shame on you.
Yes.
But I'd be saying that all day long, because once men lose the care of their mother, as they grow up through adolescence and they become adult males, they're very reactive versus proactive. And it doesn't mean that they're stupid or lazy. It just means that
many times we are.
Well, men in general, they focus on other aspects of life, and they focus on the relationship with their spouse, or they focus on raising their children, or they focus on their job.
Very busy, yes.
And those are their priorities. And so unfortunately, healthcare, particularly personal health care, falls to the back.
Yes.
And it's really important to be very, very selfish. As I always say, men need to be selfish. They have to take care of themselves first. Because if a man becomes ill or dies in a family unit, the likelihood of the children of that family being successful goes to almost zero.
Yeah.
They will suffer a very horrible growth educationally and emotionally. And many of the children of families like that don't succeed and end up with drug addictions and alcohol abuse and recidivistic behavior that is really sad. And it's not a fault of theirs, it's a fault of the family unit not surviving. And a lot of it is really dependent upon the health and well-being of the male in the family.
Wow. This is really, really powerful. And that's a topic for a whole nother podcast episode. So I don't even want to begin to unpack some of those things that you just talked about. And because you can get into the healthcare disparities and the implications of what's happening in certain communities and what have you. But let's talk about this one. If you had 5 minutes to explain to a young urologist how to establish a nonprofit foundation as you did, what would be the most important steps they could take, and who are the essential business partners they should collaborate with?
Well, most of it is you have to follow your passion.
Yes.
So if you're not passionate about it, you're wasting your time, because you won't want to wake up every day and believe what you believe. And you also have to know why you're doing what you're doing. Simon Sinek, who has created some of the best leadership videos that I've ever watched, he did one on the answer is why. And I really believe that, people know what you do, people know how you do it, but people don't know why you do what you do. But the key is they have to know why you're doing. You have to know why you're doing what you're doing.
Sure.
And it has to be really important to you. And so I would tell anybody who wants to start a nonprofit and do something really community driven, that they have to have their why packed away solidly.
Sure.
And as far as their partners are going to be everybody that they've met along the way in their lives that have been impactful for them. Because those people are going to want to partner with them and be part of their vision and their mission. And I would have to say that the foundation has grown because of all of the people that have been friends of mine, who've been partners of mine, who've felt the same vision and passion that I felt in my life, and want to ride the same ride with me, understanding we do what we do and why we do it.
Yes. And see, that's why you would be a perfect candidate for the Healthcare Hall of Fame. Right there, what you said right there. Very organic to who you are as an individual and as a healthcare luminary. And so you are worthy of great approbation for that. Now, let's talk about your faculty roles here. As a faculty member at Oakland University, William Beaumont School of Medicine, I'll give a shout out to Oakland University. That's where I got my PhD in 2017. With your academic roles, what do you consider your mission or responsibility to the trainees or the residents who study under you, the students who work under you?
It's been a really great process. By being an assistant clinical professor at Oakland University William Beaumont School of Medicine, medical students will choose to work with me and our foundation to use these as a mentorship program.
Wow.
And so it's been really a lot of fun having medical students all the way through the program. We knew our relationship with OUWB was really an important relationship. So when we held our first men's health event at the Troy Marriott in 2011, I brought all the medical students over and I had them do the vital screening. Unfortunately, what I didn't realize is that a first-year medical student has absolutely no idea how to do vitals. So I had all of our medical assistants from our practice that were doing the blood draw come on over to the vitals area and teach the medical students how to do the vital screening just before we opened the doors for the event. And then the medical students did the screening at the men's health event.
Okay.
And they had the best day of their lives.
Really?
And we've had that relationship with the Oakland University William Beaumont School of Medicine every year since, that they are the medical students involved in our men's health event, in addition to PA students, and in addition to nursing students, in addition to Wayne State University medical students. They all come and participate at our men's health event every year because it's such a great experience. And they not only learn how to do vitals, but what they do is they learn how to give individuals who attend the event the ability to answer questions in a questionnaire, as we are really obsessed with literacy and the transmission of information. So when we ask a question, we want to make sure that the question is in the proper language, proper verbiage, and properly understood, so that the data that we receive is accurate.
Right.
And we're not affronting. We don't want to challenge people and make them feel that they're not smart enough to be part of this. So we keep all of our literature for everything we do at a 6th grade reading level. We're obsessed with making sure that every document we create is at the proper reading level, so that nobody is alienated and everybody has equal access to information. So that's the medical students. The residents I worked with at William Beaumont in the Department of Urology was wonderful, and we did that as part of their training, and many of them ended up in urology. In fact, William Beaumont School of Medicine has the highest number of graduates that actually apply into a urology residency program of any school in the country. And I think a lot of it is because they get a chance to rotate with us as practicing urologists and have such a great experience that they find that this field is probably the most rewarding experience of their lives.
And I'm sure that you've had a lot, you've had a lot to do with that over the years of your tenure here.
I would hope so, but I know it wasn't just me. I have definitely seen great relationships with so many of the other faculty, and it's a great experience to watch medical students interact, and then watching the residents and grow up and become full-fledged urologists. It was a great training program, and to me, like someone says, what do you miss once you retire? I miss working with the residents. I miss being with them. They're wonderful young adults who are always inquisitive and always interested and always ask questions about what the next step is and why. And they challenge you all the time, and if you don't like to be challenged, then you shouldn't be teaching. It really is part of what makes teaching great, is to be challenged.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we can tell that you are an awesome teacher and mentor, and mentoring is one of the most important aspects of someone's success in any career, any profession. I can't imagine it be any more true than in the medical profession, where you can study with someone that has great skill and experience and expertise, and you have to really learn by observation as well as by doing that. And when you're with someone like yourself that is very nurturing and supportive, it makes it very easy for that process to take place. Finally, I want to ask you, in line with this whole topic of medical education, how has it changed? How has medical education changed in your time? And what would you like future medical curricula to emphasize?
Well, there's no question that the digital platforms for education have really enhanced the ability for medical students and residents to learn. There's advanced technologies using robotic treatment and therapies, and the laboratories that are available now for people to train on are incredible tools.
Yes.
And so there's no question the advances in technology have really been changing. And now with electronic health records and the access to health records virtually anywhere has really enhanced the ability for patients and physicians alike to stay in contact, to communicate. And it's going to be very interesting to see how healthcare in the future is going to be different.
Yes.
Telemedicine already has made some significant impact in access and availability because of the growing physician shortage that we are facing. The use of other health professionals, physician assistants and nurse practitioners is growing significantly, specifically in urology, and the amount of procedures that they're doing are increasing. And I just think that healthcare delivery is going to be very different in another 5 or 10 years. And it's not just due to cost, it's going to be due to access, and it's going to be due to availability of other personnel and also some degree of physician shortages.
Wow. So as you approach full retirement from clinical work, how do you define success or legacy?
So I think I'm already living it.
Okay.
I'm already living my legacy, and I enjoy this immensely. I'm very fortunate. I have a wife who instigated most of this. It's really her fault that I do what I do, because I can say factually that I really didn't care that much about doing things in the community. Earlier on, I was more focused on patient care and running a practice. But she flipped the switch and made me more aware that the community around us is important as the community within that I was a part of. And our community has expanded significantly. And I love the fact that literally wherever I travel, I see people that I know are potential candidates for the services we provide.
Yes.
And I believe that we just need to keep growing that community. And I'm very fortunate that we are. We have the willpower and the group of people that I work with through the foundation, and our volunteers and our board members and our partners and sponsors. Everybody wants to do this together, and it's our journey together.
Wonderful. And looking ahead, how do you hope your continuing work will evolve? And what unmet needs do you see in men's health?
One of the biggest issues we face is the underserved communities around the state of Michigan, particularly the rural communities, where we know that the death rates for prostate cancer are 20% higher. We know that the diagnosis of prostate cancer in those communities is oftentimes more likely to be metastatic and not curable. And so our goal is to try and democratize the screening process, to make it so that no matter where you are, anywhere in the state of Michigan, you will get the same screening opportunities if you were here at a large medical center. And so we are developing a mobile men's health unit, which we're going to call the Toolbox, that we will travel all around the state of Michigan to all these underserved communities. And the goal is to perform screening opportunities, just like we've been doing at our men's health event, but do this in other venues, whether it be churches, whether it be first responder facilities, whether it be in malls, whether it be at events that other organizations put on. But we will go out there and we will find ways to get men screened and educated and get them the same opportunity that they would have if they were living in a large metropolitan area.
You know, as you were speaking about reaching into those rural communities, it reminded me of a story I saw online about this country in Africa called Rwanda, and they had developed these flying taxis. And with this new technology that they have, they've been able to deliver more blood to people, you know, in the area than other countries. And so maybe you might have to tap into some flying taxis to help you reach those goals of reaching into those rural communities.
Who knows what the next technology will be?
Yes, yes, wonderful. Well,
you asked me earlier about Londi Maduro
yes,
and a movie that she did called
Yes.
The Silent Killer.
yes,
And I interviewed her, and her story is a pretty fantastic story. And what was great about it was that her father was diagnosed with prostate cancer while she was producing a movie on prostate cancer. And he was told to go on active surveillance, and she was okay with that.
mm-hmm.
But then while he was on active surveillance and was getting imaging studies, they discovered that he had pancreatic cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor that was taking care of him was somewhat dismissive. And part of it was pretty evident because he was an older black male and figured, how long are you going to live anyway? So why should you do anything at all?
Wow.
And when she experienced that, she became a real advocate for his health.
Sure.
And she got a new doctor and a new treatment plan, and he got cured of his pancreatic cancer.
Wow.
And still remains on observation for his prostate cancer, as far as I'm aware. That I don't know if that's changed. But the amount of ways that people are treated differently because of their race or their personal finances is why I think we do what we do.
Sure.
Because of why we're driven to try and democratize the way healthcare is available to the community so that all people in the community will be able to get the same care.
Absolutely.
And I think of her story whenever I think of our mission. And that's why I thought Londi Maduro's story is more than just about the silent killer. It's more about the real life that we all live.
Yeah, wonderful. I think that's a great way to end this podcast. And I want to thank you, Dr. Lutz, for sharing your insights with our listeners and viewers today. You are a shining example of using your expertise and success to create awareness of and support for men's health. And I'm confident that the work you continue to do is helping promote a healthier America. I also want to give a shout out to my producer, Mr. Ethan Toko. Today is his birthday, so we wish him a wonderful birthday. And I want to thank all of our viewers and listeners for tuning in to today's episode of Premier Insights Podcast with Dr. Michael Lutz. I hope that this conversation has inspired you to be proactive about maintaining good health by staying in close contact with your doctor. Don't procrastinate on improving your health. It just may save your life. Call the number on the screen and in the description below this video to make an appointment for your free health screening at the Michigan Men's Health Foundation right away. Call 855-664-3576 or visit them at michiganmenshealthfoundation.org and level up your health and fitness game today. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Premier Insights Podcast at Raphael Levon Price Real Estate to receive updates related to upcoming guests of renown. If you have enjoyed today's show, leave a comment in the chat box. Now, if you're thinking about buying or selling a home right here in Michigan, I'd love to help. Please call me at 248-672-4505, 248-672-4505. My team and I specialize in providing a white glove real estate experience for physicians, families, individuals, investors, or anyone relocating near or far. Whether you're buying, renting, or selling, we're more than just real estate. We deliver discretion, convenience, and ease. And we're here to make your next move your best one. So dial or text 248-672-4505 and mention Premier Insights Podcast at Raphael Levon Price Real Estate for your special offer. Thanks again for joining us today. May the Lord bless you in this life and the one to come. See you next time.